This is a Tesla Model 3 Stealth Performance, and it is a very rare and special car. And today, I'm gonna show you why. Now let's start with a little brief overview of the Tesla Model 3 in general. So the Model 3 was unveiled in around 2016 as Tesla's budget car, and yet you see them driving around and they are as common as a Toyota Corolla. They were officially unveiled and to the production and were on the road in 2017, and over the past 3 years, Tesla's improved the Model 3 even more and launched more models. The first model they ever launched was a rear-wheel drive long-range model, and that was available to people who were, people who had a reservation down for $2,500. Moving on to today, there are a lot of different Model 3s you can choose from, and if you go on Tesla's website, there are only three. There is the Standard Range Plus, the Long Range, and then the Performance. But this is a very special Model 3 just by an untrained eye. This may look like every other Tesla Model 3 on the road today. However, it isn't. This is a more special and very rare exclusive Model 3 that is on the road. These you don't see a lot, and they are made in only specific areas. I'm going to show you what is so special about this car through its quirks and features to tell you why it is a very special and exclusive Tesla Model 3. Now, the first feature I want to go over is how you unlock the Model 3. So you unlock the Model 3 by not like a normal key like any other Tesla. Instead, you get this little card. I know a lot of people show this card, but this is how you unlock it. You unlock it by pressing up against the B pillar right here, and all of a sudden, you hear the car on the two honks. That means it opens, and then you can get inside your Model 3. That goes for locking it too. Just press up the B pillar, and it locks. Very cool feature with the Model 3 itself. Moving on to the front trunk of the Tesla Model 3, which you can access by pressing the button on the control panel, which I'll show you later, or on the phone app. The phone app is your main key. The card is your backup key. Anyways, onto the front trunk here. It unlatches like this, and you open it, and there are a couple of interesting quirks in the front trunk. Talk about the windshield. It's really shaped kind of weirdly. It comes down to a point, and then it goes back up. As you can see, the windshield is just shaped in a really odd manner. I don't know why it's shaped like this, but I think it's something to do with the windshield wipers and the way that they designed it. They had to design the windshield like that. To these holes on the front trunk. As you can see, they're just like these holes that I could fit like my finger in them, and they're just sitting there with these two exposed bolts on them. I first didn't know what these were, but then I looked it up, and it turns out these were grocery bag hooks. Apparently in the Model 3 in 2017, when they first designed it, they had these grocery bag hooks. However, apparently guessing Tesla didn't like the idea of having grocery bag hooks in the front trunk, and they decided to discontinue them. But then instead of just discontinuing the entire front trunk and make a new flush area to get rid of them, they just took them out, and now they just have these holes with these exposed bolts to show that they were there. You can see the holes are still installed, but they're just not equipping them on cars. Very, very interesting that Tesla decided to do that. Interior of the Model 3, and I really want to start with the screen. Now, I can go on and on and on about this center screen, but I'm only gonna over things that are really specific and really cool to the Tesla Model 3 and the Model 3 Performance Stealth in general. So even though I can go over a lot in the center screen, I'm only going to go over things that are dedicated to those things I just said. With Tesla's Sentry Mode. Sentry Mode is like a security system for your car. It came out with an update, and it is really cool and useful to catch people that are being suspicious around your car. So you activate Sentry Mode by tapping the little circle with lines in it up here, and when it glows red, that means Sentry Mode is activated. And when it's activated, that means you can exit your car like you normally would. So I'm just gonna exit, and as soon as the car officially locks, Sentry Mode is activated. You can see I'm walking by the car right now, and There's is Sentry mode. You can see that thing, it says recording, Tesla activated, Sentry mode activated. That means that Sentry mode, when that comes up, Sentry mode is recording in your car. Now that means if thieves are looking in your car, they see that, and then you can run. Then they know, oh, someone's watching me. I'll run away. Very cool feature for Tesla, right there. That is a really cool. It gets better after you in your car and from your shopping at a mall. You can see that how many Sentry mode reports have been active, how many times Sentry mode has been activated while you're gone. So as you can see here, one Sentry mode report, and if you tap to view it on your Tesla screen, it does show you in each view where Sentry mode is activated. So you can see me closing the door there, you can see, and this clip, as you can see, is 5 minutes 54 seconds. That means Sentry mode was activated for 5 minutes 54 seconds, and it kept activated. You can see me walking around the car, and it's very cool. But you don't actually only use this for Sentry mode clips. No, this is a part of Tesla's dash track mode. Now, track mode is only specific to the actual Tesla Model 3 performance line. You go activate track mode by going to the driving, and you can see is track mode. You activate it by putting your foot on the brake and track mode appears, but you can also customize your own track mode. For example, you can customize a drift preset, a race preset, and other presets. So if you have a preset of going to a certain racetrack, for example, you can have that preset in track mode and the car gets programmed that way. Very, very cool. Other things which are very cool about this infotainment system, and that is the arcade and the theater. Check this out, okay? So down here on this little menu bar, you can see that you have a lot of different toggles. One says entertainment and one says toy box. We'll go to entertainment first, and you can see that there are two icons at the top, arcade and theater, and here are all your channels in your Tesla Model 3. There's Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, Twitch, which is a streaming platform, and Tesla Tutorials. Tesla Tutorials is basic, simple. If you don't know how to use a Model 3, you can learn how to use it through Tesla Tutorials. But all of these channels you have, and you get all of the movies or channels you have on your car. That is really cool. Moving on to arcade, you can play arcade games in your car like Stardew Valley, Cuphead, Beach Buggy Racing 2, which is a very cool one, Chess 2048, and all of these old vintage arcade games that you can play. I can't wait for Pac-Man. What I find really cool is Beach Buggy Racing 2. This is the coolest one, and there's a couple interesting things in this game. As you can see, you have your actual Tesla car. So what if you get a red Model 3, it's a red car. Blue, you get a blue car. Black, and it goes for all models. So if you have a Cybertruck, it will probably be a Cybertruck. Moving on to the actual game itself, you have all these games you don't control with the screen. No, you control the actual car with the steering wheel and the brake. As you can see, I'm just gonna play an example for you. And as you can see, I'm pressing the gas and the brake, and the car is controlled by the steering wheel. If you want to play two people, the other person will use the screen. This is a really cool way to be fun while you're charging your car at a supercharger. I see a lot of people do this, and it's really fun to drive this while at a supercharger. Really cool. To the toy box, which has all of these different things you can do in your toy box. First, you have missions, which plays farts to prank your passengers. So if you want to prank someone in the back seat, you can put a fart cushion, a whoopee cushion under your seat, and it plays all these different kinds of farts. To be exact, there are 7 farts you can choose from, or 6, not counting I'm So Random Tracks, which is a music creator. I would like to show you, but I don't know how it works. Moving on to romance, it actually puts a fire in front of your screen, which is really cool. It turns all the heat on, heated seats on, but it's 70 degrees, and I don't want to burn myself to death. Moving on to Sketchpad, this is a really cool one. You have a Sketchpad, and and you can sketch things while you drive, I guess, and there's a marker or an eraser, and you have all these different colors. You can choose from a whole color wheel. Really cool, really fun to use. Moving on to Mars, you can have your car driving on Mars if you want. Santa mode, which I won't do because of YouTube copyright, but it plays a Santa song on the background, and your blinkers turn into jingle bells. And moving on to Rainbow Road, which is an autopilot, which turns on more cowbell song, and it has a Rainbow Road as your road in autopilot. Very cool and very fun in the toy box. Karaoke, which is actually down here, and it's actually really cool. You have all these different songs, these popular songs, and you can karaoke to them, or Tesla calls is actually karaoke to them in your car, and the lyrics pop up, and that's a really cool feature when you're driving along, or if you're just at a supercharger in the middle of nowhere. It's really fun to sing to lyrics on a song. Really cool about this screen. But I'm only going to leave you with one last thing, and that is the Route Creator. The Route Creator is a great way that Tesla thought out, that Tesla came out with to reduce the range anxiety that you have in your Model 3. So for example, I'm just going to say, let's go to New York, okay? That's a doable place. Most people drive from Massachusetts to New York, and it will say calculating route, and as you can see, there's the little destination marker, and it says calculating route, and it's gonna tell you finding superchargers on your trip. It's going to tell you that, and it's going to search for the nearest superchargers and how many superchargers you have to start out, how to stop to charge. So you can see that all of these red things are superchargers. All those red things are superchargers, and if you tap one, it will actually show you how many cells are available, and if one's out of order, and the idle fees, so on, so on, so on, and so forth. So it's a really cool way to reduce range anxiety. We use the Route Creator option all the time on road trips. We do a lot of road trips in this car, and it is just so much easier with this Route Creator feature. So I'm going to come back once the superchargers actually find itself on the trip. It does take a little bit, which is kind of annoying to find the superchargers, but it is worth it in the end, because again, if you do run out of battery, it is really hard to find a supercharger, and you have to call roadside assistance. As you can see, it's telling us that we have to stop at the supercharger in Fairfield, Connecticut, and this is estimating on our 214 miles of range. Fairfield, Connecticut, as you can see, there's 6 of 8 stalls available, and we'll have to stop there we'll have 17% battery when we get there. We'll have to charge for 10 minutes, and then we'll get to New York with 25% battery, and with a total trip of 208 miles and 3 hours and 36 minutes. That is a great feature that I wish more cars can come out with, because obviously gas stations are more common than charging stations, so it does make sense for Tesla to do in the back seat of the Model 3, where there are a couple quirks and features back here, and I just want to start out with the windows. So the front windows have that really cool pillarless design, so you roll it down and it goes flush down in the door. With the back windows though, they don't. They left 6 inches of window just right there. I don't know why they decided to do this, but both windows have these child locks on them, and it just makes the car look so stupid. I mean, why would you leave 6 inches of window back here? But again, I don't know why they did it, but 6 inches. They won't even let it go down all the way. Probably some regulations of the USA had to have window locks, but really interesting that they didn't let it go down. Next, I want to move on to the center channel air vents, and I really want to start off with that you do get rear AC in this car, as well as rear heated seats. However, you can't control them. You have to ask the driver or the passenger politely to change your heated seat or your temperature back here. I don't know why they didn't put a dial or a screen up here or a heated seat button, but again, Tesla's trying to be as simple as possible with this, and they just let it be simple like that, and you have to ask the driver, "Sir, please can you turn on my heated seat to 2 And turn the temperature up to 80, please. Finally, I want to move on to the trunk, which is the largest storage space in the car, other than the front. It's a pretty decent sized trunk. And I first want you to notice that the trunk goes halfway up the C-pillar. I mean, I don't know why they had the trunk go up like this. It almost like it wanted to be a hatchback, but it couldn't be a hatchback, so they just left it like this. I don't know why they decided to make the trunk be like this, but the window doesn't roll up with it. It's just like that. I'm actually demonstrating with all these chairs in here of how much space there is in here. I mean, you can get, like, I would say almost 5 chairs in here and a couple of bags, and there's still more room for suitcases in here. I mean, you have a big storage space under here and a big storage space under here because there is no drivetrain, obviously. Now, you might be wondering, how do you charge the car? I'll tell you that right now, because it's kind of interesting. With an electric car like a Model 3 Performance, you do need to charge it. So I'm going to show you like how you charge it, because there's a kind of an interesting features with it. So since this is our Model 3, you do have a couple of options of charging it. The first way is to get a charger at your house. We got the Tesla wall charger. I think that's what it's called, wall connector. And it's this cable that you can control with the car. So let's just grab it, and I'm going to demonstrate with you how to charge a Model 3. You grab the cable, and to charge it, you don't open it by manually. Instead, you press a button on it. The car has detected it, and you can simply just insert the cable, and it goes green to let you know that it is charging. If you're done charging, press the button, it comes back out, and then the charging can go down. How do you charge it if you're going to someone else's house? If you're running low, how do you charge it if you're going across country to someone else's house if they don't have a wall connector? Tesla thought of this, and they actually get a cable with your car, and this is the charging cable case under here. It's usually stored differently in every single car. This is what it looks like. It looks like this cable box bag with Tesla on it, and if you open it up, this is what you charge your Model 3 with if you're going to someone else's house. This charges at a very, very slow speed of 2 miles an hour, and it charges in about a day or so, or 2, and you get it with one of these things. You can plug into a normal outlet, and that goes into the charger, and this charges at like 2 miles an hour, and that's how Tesla wants you to charge your Model 3 at other people's houses or at an apartment building or something. Finally, I want to give my final thoughts on the Model 3 Stealth Performance. So, if you haven't really realized yet, the Stealth Performance is a limited Model 3. It was a limited production Model 3, and it was mainly of a test to see if people would actually buy it. In the end, people actually didn't buy it. It didn't really sell well, and now they just have the 3 models of standard range plus, long range, and performance. The Performance Stealth is a performance in disguise, basically. With normal performance, you get bigger wheels, bigger brakes, lower suspension, as well as a carbon fiber spoiler in the back. However, this one doesn't have any of that. Instead, you do get the standard 19-inch wheels. It still is on the standard suspension. It doesn't have the carbon fiber spoiler. It doesn't have the red brake calipers. So it doesn't have that cool performance pack. However, the only thing it does have is the $15,000 performance battery pack, and that is what it makes. That's what it makes it the Performance Stealth. It has the performance internals, but the externals of just a normal Model 3. So when you pick this car up, it's still got its dual motor all-wheel drive badge. It still had that. But it's just a performance in disguise, and Tesla did this to certain countries or certain states that got a lot of snow, that got a lot of weather, and that couldn't handle the standard Model 3 Performance. Realized the Model 3 Performance, the regular version you can buy at any Tesla showroom or online, if you drive in the snow, the axles freeze and you have to change the tires. This one, you don't. You don't have to change the tires, and that's a great thing about this, and as well as the axles don't freeze in the snow. So this is it's a better version of, it's a more usable version for people in harder climates like we are in Massachusetts. That's what makes this car so special. In California, or in warmer climates like California, Florida, Nevada, you can't get this car because they don't have access, Tesla dealers don't have access to this car. However, in colder climates like Massachusetts or Rhode Island or Maine, you can get this type of Model 3. However, they are like slowly ramping down production in the Stealth performances, and they're pushing people that want a normal performance just to go with the normal performance with snow tires. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did, smash that like button. Please consider subscribing to this channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care.